Hi, my name is Javen Finneman, and today I will be talking about an infectious disease called chickenpox. I chose this disease because it's very common and very infectious to people. This disease is mostly found in children, but can be found in adults that are unvaccinated. The etiology or the cause or pathogen for this disease is the varicella zoster virus. The ways that this can be identified, such as the signs and symptoms for chickenpox, would be fever, fatigue, headache, or inappetence, which means loss of appetite. These are just the most common symptoms and signs. There's also blisters or sores that form that are visibly symptoms or signs of chickenpox. Other diseases that could possibly be mistaken for chickenpox include scabies or herpes simplex. These are just two common ones that are often found in the early stages of chickenpox, or mistaken for them in the early stages of chickenpox. This disease is transmitted by direct contact with people that are infected with this infectious disease, usually by touching blisters, saliva, or mucus from the infected person, and that gets onto skin or into like your eyes, or a lot of people touch their face very often. I know that I'm a person that touches their face very often, so that would be the most likely entry point for me. The mechanism that causes this disease, or causes it to progress in humans, is the virus reaches the mucosal epithelial tissue site of entry, burrows down into it, and gets into the immune system, causing the reaction. This disease is very common in children. Adults are usually vaccinated for the chickenpox virus. This disease is diagnosed by, usually based off of the symptoms and the signs. It's usually pretty prevalent with chickenpox because of the blisters and the sores that form, and the itching, the fever, the fatigue, everything like that all kind of mends together. And as the sores progress in their size, shape, or texture, they're usually very specific to chickenpox. It's pretty easy to differentiate between scabies and herpes as the disease progresses in its form. One important way to prevent the spread or reduce the incidence of this infectious disease would be to get the MMR vaccine, which is for the measles, mumps, and rubella vaccine. It is about 90% effective in the prevention of chickenpox, usually given at a younger age. Also, usually if you have chickenpox once, you are less likely to get it again. So if you are infected with it once, you get the antibodies to it, and the antibodies are able to fight off future instances of you coming in contact with it. But it's not guaranteed that just because you have chickenpox once does not mean necessarily that you are 100% cured from ever getting it again. It is still possible for you to be reinfected. The treatment for this is usually over-the-counter medications that can be taken, such as aspirin to reduce the fever, along with antihistamine lotion to manage the itch of the rash, or the severity of the rash or blisters that come with the chickenpox. It usually takes about 10 to 14 days for this disease to run its course through a person's body. There are other medications that you can get prescribed to you. Usually, I believe they're only prescribed for adults because of the severity of the reaction to some of the medications, if I remember correctly from the research that I did. But as I said, the likelihood of you re-getting chickenpox is low, but it's not impossible. as an adult, as long as you're vaccinated, you shouldn't have to worry about getting chickenpox. But as a child, it is very recommended that parents give their children the MMR vaccine, the MMRV vaccine, in order to prevent it. I believe I had it when I was younger. I never had the chickenpox. I do know other people that have had it and have gotten the chickenpox as a children. Usually your immune system as an adult makes it less likely for you to get it. It's also not as prevalent now that the vaccine has come out, but there are still people that do not vaccinate. And I believe that is all for my presentation today. Thank you.